people interested?
Not if you're
What's
starting
going
on time, it's not.
And you'll probably see a lot of collaboration and sharing too. Totally different from me. Yeah, close the doors.
Dan, how are you? This is you, Major. That's my grandma.
Let's stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everyone this evening. We're going to open our evening as we normally do with a town meeting, and I'd like to call this meeting of the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board to order at 6:35 p.m. And because our cameraman's behind the camera right now, I'm going to do the roll call today. Mr. Wood.
Here.
Councilor Brockway.
Here.
Councilor Renadette.
Here.
Councilor Mannix.
Here.
Mr. Duquette, Wood is here. Collins, excuse me, and Mr. Coffey, our town attorney. You're throwing me a curveball with this.
Where are we going here now? I think we better let Ricky do that next time.
Must be a union job or something. Resolution 09-387, approving the minutes of the previous meeting. Resolved that the minutes of December 7, 2009 and December 14, 2009 of the previous meetings be approved and the reading of the minutes be dispensed with. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Mannix, a second.
I'll second.
Ms. Brockway. Any discussion? If not, a roll call. Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Ms. Brockway?
Yes.
Mr. Renadette?
Yes.
Mr. Mannix?
Yes.
And Mr. Bassett indicates yes. This is the portion of our meeting where we invite members of the public to address the board. We usually remind them that we need to try and keep it to 5 minutes and to state their name and address, but we'll dispense with that this evening, as we will dispense with the rest of the regular agenda, because we have something very, very special that we need to take care of. As everyone knows, this is a very special day for Mrs. Renadette, Alice Renadette, who I'm very pleased. I'm going to move that stand, which is right in my way, and I'm sure it's in everybody else's. It's better to do it now than think about it, right? Very, very pleased to have Mrs. Renadette here sharing a very special day, of which I've been told she just sees it as another one. But as I mentioned to Fred, what we're doing this evening is we're practicing. You have to have, very special events. You have to practice. You have to plan. It takes many months. So we are absolutely ready and do it perfectly right on her 110th. Now, with that said, we do have some special messages, some special letters from the leadership in our state. I'm very pleased this evening to have Assemblywoman Dupree joining us as well in person. As I indicated when I spoke to her, I'm sure her list is comparable to the gentleman that lives in the North Pole right about now as far as things to do and places to go. So we really do appreciate that. And like Assemblywoman Dupree, we're all here to acknowledge a full life. And we're very fortunate to have correct me if I'm wrong, we didn't discuss this earlier, I believe a great-great-nephew? A great-great-nephew. Now, we don't want that to go to Councilor Renadette's head, so we usually, but two greats is pretty hard to beat. And I've asked Gerard if he would please read a proclamation from the board, and we'll have a few presentations for Mrs. Renadette as well.
Thank you. And Alice,
Whereas the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board periodically recognizes town residents for their special accomplishments and achievements. And whereas Alice T. Renadette of 7 Graves Lane in the Town of Plattsburgh, having been born on December 21st, 1903, on her father's farm on the Strackville Road in Redford, New York. And whereas Alice T. Renadette has earned the distinction and honor of celebrating her 106th birthday on December 21st, 2009. And whereas Mrs. Renadette has led a full and productive life, raising a family and providing for them in a manner that has become an exemplary model for other mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, and great-great-grandmothers to follow. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Plattsburgh, for itself and on behalf of the residents of the Town of Plattsburgh, predecessor town boards, and the many family members of Alice T. Renadette, hereby commend her and express to her the appreciation of all for her years of dedication to family, community, and life. And be it further resolved that the Town of Plattsburgh Town Board wishes Mrs. Renadette much happiness and pleasure in her celebration of longevity.
Hear, hear.
Okay, worried that you may not hear everything.
We're not going to let him talk anymore.
I don't know,
The rest of us.
not him, someone else.
Thank you. I've also asked Mr. Mannix if he would read a letter that we have from Congressman Owens.
It's a great honor to read
You have
this.
to get close.
This may be one of his first letters of this nature from Congressman William Owens, addressed to Ms. Alice Renadette, 7 Graves Lane, Plattsburgh, New York. Dear Ms. Renadette, I wanted to extend my best wishes to you on your 106th birthday. New York's 23rd Congressional District has been blessed by your wonderful spirit and enormous contributions to your community for many years. Happy birthday and a happy new year to you and your family. Sincerely, Bill, signed on behalf of Bill Owens, Member of Congress.
Also, we have a letter from Senator Gillibrand that I asked Ms. Brockway to present for us.
She's worried about all these pictures.
Pictures being taken. This is from our United States Senator, Kristen E. Gillibrand. It says, Dear Mrs. Renadette, I am delighted to join with family and friends in wishing you a happy 106th birthday. As you celebrate this special milestone, I hope that your day is filled with much laughter, great joy, and warm company of treasured friends and family. With all best wishes on your very special day, I am sincerely yours, Kristen E. Gillibrand, United States Senator. Fabulous. Thank you very much.
Just keeps on coming. I also am very pleased and honored to have a letter from Governor David A. Patterson to share with you on this special occasion. Dear Mrs. Renadette, I am delighted to congratulate you on your 106th birthday, a truly auspicious occasion. I hope that you have the opportunity to commemorate this extraordinary milestone in the company of good friends and family. As a living treasury of wonderful experiences from our past, your life inspires all those who have been blessed with knowing you. You certainly have seen great changes during your lifetime and been witness to many pivotal events that have shaped our nation. I commend the many contributions you have made to your family, your community, and the state of New York. On behalf of all New Yorkers, I applaud your remarkable longevity and extend my best wishes for much happiness ahead. Warmest regards, sincerely, David A. Patterson, Governor of the State of New York. And we did this methodically to yield the balance of our time to our Assemblywoman who was able to be here. Thank you so much.
This is a citation from the New York State Assembly. Whereas, as it is the sense of our unique society to recognize the achievements of the citizens of our great state, I acknowledge with respect and admiration a milestone in the life of Alice Teresa Renadette. Whereas, attendant to such concern and fully in agreement with our long-standing traditions, it is my intent to convey my compliments and congratulations to Alice upon the occasion of her 106th birthday. Now therefore be it resolved that as a duly elected member of the State Assembly of New York, I recognize that in Alice Renadette we have an outstanding citizen worthy of public recognition for sharing a loving 59-year marriage with her husband Albert, for being a loving mother of 5 children, a loving grandmother of 18 grandchildren, 12 great-grandchildren, and 7 great-great-grandchildren, and an inspiration to all family and friends. Signed by me, Assemblywoman, the 114th Assembly District, dated today. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Our formalities are done at this point. Fred, I'm going to turn the balance of the activities over to you and the family, I think.
You mean I don't have the president here?
Well,
We tried.
it wasn't for trying, absolutely right. That's why Tom didn't read, he was supposed to be the president.
And I'm only allowed 5 minutes and I brought all this stuff. I'm not going to. Just very quickly. We want to thank Bernie, Chairman, and Councilman from the town. We want to thank you for your hospitality and for your good wishes and your salutation. We want to thank the folks that came, oh, by the way, I'm sorry, before I get through thanking, I have one more person we have to have. There is another gentleman here that has a presentation for Mom, so we'll let him have, if he'd like, Captain, the Salvation Army. There we go. The Salvation Army, the captain, and I'm sorry.
I wasn't prepared for that.
With all the names that came up,
That's okay.
I'm sorry, and I know you're not prepared. and I
That's
wasn't-
okay. That's
But,
okay.
oh, I thought you had,
My wife, Wendy,
yes?
and if you could bring the outfit.
This was a last minute, call, wanted to be part of the proceedings, wanted to honor Mom.
We were told a few of your favorite things, so we hope that you will enjoy tokens of our best wishes, and God bless you today.
Thank you very much.
We're told you like tea. So we have some tea and some other goodies in there, so you tell us if it's the right flavor. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Didn't expect all these. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Oh. One of her grandchildren came over to get a picture. He's got to get a picture of this. This is Steve. There you go. There, thank you. Okay. Where was I? Anyway. On behalf of my mother-in-law, Alice T. Renadette, been with us for 25 years of our married life, and
she has been such a blessing to our family. She's really brought a lot of loving advice, and sometimes may not be, but I mean, but she has really been very important part of our family, and we love the idea that she has been a treasure to us, and she's a treasure to the whole family. But thank you all for coming, and I hope that you'll have a chance to see the pictures about her life, and there you can see the family tree that we put together to show where everyone is, where all those great-great-grandchildren are, that we just added 2 more because they were born this year and we just found out, so we're trying to get, I want it to be as accurate as possible. And speaking of accuracy, don't believe what you see. If you want to, you can pick up a little souvenir, a little flyer on Alice, and in it I have born December 21st, 2009. So please make a correction. It's 2003. I mean, it's 1003. Yes. I'm still going to do it. I'm still there. 1903, not 2003. Well, that's what you get for being flustered. Okay. Thank you for my mother-in-law, who's been like a mother to me. I've known her probably longer than I have many of the others.
Yes.
I've known her since 52, so it's been a while. She's been part of my family, and we appreciate. Mom would love to talk to you, but she gets very nervous, especially with crowds, although this is her family. But she wants to thank you. I don't think we should try to get her to get up to say it unless she feels up to it. Do you want to say anything to the folks?
Well, thank you all for coming. I didn't expect so many nice things. I didn't really know everything about this new one either.
No, we tried not to tell her too much.
I'm beginning to be suspicious. Didn't go in and out so much. They tried not to let me know.
A nice surprise that so many were able to come.
There.
Yeah.
She can't wait to get into her.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank everybody.
We had an awful time with this because Mom does not appreciate the fact that she is a very important person here in the county. She is the number one right now. She is the oldest living resident in Clinton County, as far as we know. We've tried all the avenues to find out, and maybe you can help us find out what the situation is. But boy, we have done everything to find out for sure. But we're pretty certain that she is the oldest living resident in Clinton County, and who knows how far we go from there in the North Country. What's that?
Might be the oldest one in the state of New York.
Well, she may be. I don't know. I'd love to find out. But she does really appreciate it. She doesn't feel she's worthy of it, but she is. She is. She really, truly is. She has seen history, and she has been part of history. And her family is a good, is evidence of the bounty that she has set out for the world. Because this family will be the generations to come anyway. They're the ones that are going to follow through. But we're very fortunate that we have Mom that we can talk to and ask questions, and she can give us some answers. In fact, she can give us a lot of answers. She knows a lot of things, you know. Come over and enjoy. Here's the cake that we have. We'll just probably, I think everybody would like to sing happy birthday to Alice, and then we'll have a little ceremonial cutting. And then what we're going to do is, for the folks that want to stay, and the folks that are going to the restaurant, we'll have a cake over there for the family, and then we have another cake over here for the folks that want to stay and enjoy, and some refreshments in that. Okay? Because I didn't want to leave them out of it. Bernie said, I mentioned that it might go over to. What? You mean we're not going to get any cake? So he said, no. You're getting cake. Okay, thank you very much. Once again, we really do appreciate it. It's an honor. It's an
And
honor.
who's going to lead us in the happy birthday?
Okay. Why can what key do we go to?
There's your clue.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alice. Happy birthday. We gotta do no.
Okay, we love her.
Okay.
Until a man started. Whoa there.
Oh, are you taking pictures?
If you want to.
Can I see you for a picture? Can I sneak in for a picture?
Now I'm gonna have to rerun that whole thing and start doing
Give you a humble.
Oh, yes, I'll never forget my, I was in the union, the teachers union in Peru, we started. School board is there. Union is important because we need to improve the status of teachers, right?
I think the book is pretty fast. I didn't see too much. I don't know what those new
Okay,
resolutions
we are live, we are rolling, we're back. Thank you, Mr. Collins. Very special opportunity for the town of Plattsburgh to celebrate with Mrs. Renadette and her family, and also to have our elected officials share their congratulations, and Assemblywoman Dupree join us this evening. I was kind of hoping the Assemblywoman might stay to see how government can act, but that's the way it is.
Not at all like the making of sausage.
No. Anyway, it's a very, very special thing on this week of Christmas and whatnot to share a birthday like the 106th. Is there anyone else that would like to address the board this evening? And if not, if our clerk is got himself reorganized, my notes say we're on resolution 388.
Resolved that the abstract of audited claims number 1B09 in the amount of $1,369,568.41 be received and reviewed by the audit committee, and the supervisor is hereby authorized to pay said abstract.
Have a motion? So moved. Mr. Renadette, second Ms. Brockway. Any discussion? Roll call?
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Sheila Brockway,
Yeah.
Gerard Renadette,
Yes.
Mark Manick,
Yes.
Ernie Bass.
Yes, resolution 389.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from Stephen Imhoff, Code Enforcement Officer, for the month of November 2009.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Brockway, second.
Second.
Mr. Renadette, any discussion?
Looked like-
Yes, again, we see for that month, 38 building permits requested, 33 issued.
A number of them were alterations and improvements, I think, but went through the housing rehab grant.
Which is very good also. I plan to have on our work session agenda for a week from this evening, a little more discussion about that. I think I've given you some notes, you'll get some more. There are a couple of options this time to apply for the next round, and hopefully we'll keep that going. I had the honor and privilege of attending our senior citizens Christmas luncheon again this year. I went this past week, and I'll tell you, it was worth whatever we had to do. I had one of the seniors approach me to very humbly say thank you and how much it's meant to her to get the work done on her house. She knew there were some things that needed to be done. She said when those nice people came and also looked at my roof and said, you know, we need to put a roof on this house. She said that was just way beyond. I never expected to see that happen. Boy, I was just thank you, please tell the board thank you. That's one of those activities we do. We do a lot of things that really adds huge value to this community, and I hope we can continue to be successful with those grants. Meant a lot. I think it meant almost as much to me as it did her to get the work done. It's just a wonderful experience. So there is still stuff going on, but you're right, Tom. An amount of that is with the home grant. We had 10 projects going on. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Sheila Brockway?
Yes.
Gerard Renadette?
Yes.
Mark Manick?
Yes.
Bernie Bassett?
Yes, resolution 09390.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from David Duquette, Dog Control Officer for the month of December 2009.
So
A
moved.
motion, Mr. Manick, second.
Second.
Ms. Brockway. What you have attached is not his written report, but this is, if you will, his report card. This is done as part of the regular inspection done by Ags and Markets, and he was very pleased that in all areas he was satisfactory plus, and got a very, very positive report for the work he does. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Sheila Brockway?
Yes.
Gerard Renadette?
Yes.
Mark Manick?
Yes.
Bernie Bassett?
Yes, resolution 391.
Resolved to receive and place on file a supervisor's financial report for the month of November 2009.
Motion,
So moved.
Mr. Renadette, second.
I'll second.
Ms. Brockway. Any discussion? Roll call?
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Sheila Brockway?
Yes.
Gerard Renadette?
Yes.
Mark Manick?
Yes.
Bernie Bassett?
Yes, resolution 392.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from Rick Collins, Town Clerk, for the month of December 2009.
I have a motion.
So moved.
Ms. Brockway, second.
Second.
Mr. Mannix, any discussion?
A lot of, I noticed the number of dog licenses and spayed and unspayed. It seems as if there's a good number that are getting spayed and helps with the population, I think. Really would be good to have one for cats. I think.
You're going to propose that cats get licensed? You're going to become the cat control officer?
No, I don't want to be cat control officer.
It would be nice to have a phone number to send somebody to.
Yeah, we'll send him to Dom.
I noticed the revenue is up over the same time period last year, which is good. Reflects a lot of things.
Almost every month throughout this year, it's been on. We increased our income, and the amount of people that are relicensing their dogs has been up every month. So
That's good, because there has been an effort to make people aware from a number of ends, from our dog control officer, from the courts, from the clerk's office with direct mailings, newsletter and whatnot, that there are responsibilities with pet owners. I recently was at one of our local veterinarians and also again reiterated with them that we want to be informed if they have someone come in with a pet that looks like it's being maltreated. Ironically, I don't know what difference it made, next week you may get a report on that. There was a call made to David Duquette, and there was an animal that was in that was severely malnourished, and she followed up, so I was very pleased. And it's part of a it's a sign within a community, and we want to stay on it. I know you all feel the very much the same way. And,
Especially with it being cold and they're left outside.
oh, yeah. I think this board's pretty tough with new laws, and, it's a good thing. It's something we can control, and we need to try to. So anyway, I'm very pleased with the role everybody's playing in making this happen. If there's no other discussion, roll call, please.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Sheila Brockway?
Yes.
George Renadette?
Yes.
Mark Manick?
Yes.
Bernie Bass?
Yes. Resolution 393.
Resolved to receive and place on file a report from David Comfort, Director of Water and Wastewater Department for the month of November 2009.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Renadette, second.
Second.
Ms. Brockway, any discussion?
It's good to see that they have all the taps complete in the Moffett Road project. And the manholes installed and tested in the Cumberland Head. It seems like we're really making progress on these things.
That's a good job. And we
And
talked about that one
Morrison.
for 2 years.
And the Morrisonville, Katyville connection finished too, so I mean, that's good. We're getting all these projects that we've been working to try to get done finished.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Sheila Brockway?
Yes.
George Renadette?
Yes.
Mark Manick?
Yes.
Bernie Bass?
Yes. Resolution 394.
Resolved that the town board, town of Plattsburgh, does hereby grant and approve one payment in the total amount of $8,890 as payment for DHCR disbursement request number 10 for work related to the project listed as part of the town of Plattsburgh, New York State Home Program Grant Project 2008-3068. And it is further resolved that all costs related to said project work have been inspected and approved by designated rehabilitation specialists for said work, and that the funds be allocated from Housing Trust per approved quotations for completed work. And it is further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to make said payment for the project in accordance with the agreement. And it is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the budget officer.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Mannix, second.
Second.
Mr. Wood, any discussion?
This is the one that we were trying to figure out the last time, right?
Yeah,
The amount that we needed, the 8,000?
Well, to clarify, as you recall, last time you had 2 resolutions. In the 11th hour, and we have that happen sometimes, and I think we were more considerate of the 11th hour requests than we should be, because you open the door to troubles. Mr. Crowley come in with an amended resolution that should have replaced the first one. Instead, it came in as a second resolution. And this is why, if you recall, there was a lot of similarity, but the top billings were identical. And there's one addition. So what he did, and we had a lot of confusion over the request number and the disbursement number. If you look at page 2, you can see there are times like with request number 1 was for 4 disbursements. So request number 2 is, our board request number 2 is for disbursements 5 and 6, and so on. So I asked Mr. Crowell to keep consistency with his request numbers, which is why we have indicated number 5 is pending. That was what was added, which should have been a new resolution. As you recall, we did pass the first one, which was for the 29040. So the one before you simply cleans that up, and it's a resolution for the singular amount that was left out.
That's what I thought. Just
Makes it very.
want to make sure.
Yeah, well, matching the request number. We also monitored, and will continue to do so, the language in the resolution. So we're noting it's a home request 5 for disbursement request 10. And I think that helps line it up also. Totally understandable why it was confusing, because it was confusing. So hopefully this will help. I hope that clarifies. Are there any other questions on what this is? If not, we'll have a roll call, please.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Sheila Brockway?
Yes.
George Renadette?
Yes.
Mark Manick?
Yes.
Bernie Bass?
Yes. Resolution 395.
Whereas Luck Brothers Incorporated has submitted a request for payment, request number 2, for work done October 24, 2009 to November 23, 2009 for Moffett Road Water Extension Project. And whereas LaBerge Group and the Director of Water Wastewater Department have reviewed, verified, and recommended payment of said work. Now therefore be resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to make payment number 4 for the voucher dated November 13, 2009 in the amount of $164,710.52 as periodic estimate number 4 payment to Love Brothers Incorporated. And it is further resolved that said payment be made payable to Love Brothers Incorporated, 73 Trade Road, Plattsburgh, New York, from the Moffett Road Water Project, and that a copy of this resolution be given to the budget office.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Renadet, second.
I'll second.
Ms. Brockway. Any discussion?
Yeah, has this been signed off by?
Yes.
No signature, there's no sheet on mine.
The cover sheet of the original has been signed off by the engineer as well as Mr. Comfort.
Okay, good, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Woods?
Yes.
Sheila Brockway?
Yes.
Gerard Renadette?
Yes.
Martin Mannix?
Yes.
Bernie Bass?
Yes. Resolution 396.
Whereas to comply with the Town of Plattsburgh zoning and codes laws, Cumberland 12 Cinema has applied for a license to conduct and operate a cinema known as Cumberland 12 Cinemas, located in the Town of Plattsburgh at 212 North Bow Lane, Route 9. And whereas the application was applied for and received with license fee of $500. And whereas Code Department has completed a positive inspection and has found Cumberland 12 Cinemas to be in compliance with all local laws and New York State regulations and codes. Now therefore be resolved to receive and place on file an application with a fee for the license to conduct and operate Cumberland 12 Cinemas. And it is further resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized to issue said license for the period January 1, 2010 through December 31st, 2010.
Have a motion? Ms. Brockway, second.
Second.
Mr. Mannix.
What was the address again?
Address is 812 North Bow Lane. You see, it's got Route 8 on it, but it should be Route 9.
Should be Route 9.
It also should be in the second sentence and in the third sentence where it says cinema, it should say cinemas.
I've made no.
And I agree with Tom, I don't think it's 812 North.
On the application, it says it's 18 North Bow Lane. On the application that they have on the second page.
18 North.
Yeah, 18, I think there's just a typo there.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 1-8.
Yep.
Any other discussion? We will amend it
That's all that
as
matters.
indicated. Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Sheila Brockway?
Yes.
Gerard Renadette?
Yes.
Mark Mannix?
Yes.
Bernie Bassett?
Yes. Resolution 397.
Whereas the Town of Plattsburgh schedules and publishes an annual yearly organizational meeting, therefore be resolved that the Town Board, Town of Plattsburgh, does hereby schedule the organization meeting for the year 2010 to be held Monday, January 4th, 2010 at 6:30 p.m. And it is further resolved that the Town Clerk is hereby authorized and directed to have notice of meeting published in the town's official newspaper, the Press Republican, in accordance with town law.
A motion? Mr. Renadat, second. Mr. Wood.
Yes.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood?
Yes.
Sheila Brockway?
Yes.
Gerard Renadette?
Yes.
Mark Mannix?
Yes.
Bernie Bassett?
Yes. Resolution 398.
Whereas the Town of Plattsburgh Planning Board has reviewed and approved the Phil Green Senior Subdivision 1998 lots 29 through 51. And whereas Philip Green Senior has submitted a deed for conveyance of improvements representing approximately 424 feet plus or minus of Deer Run Drive and related water, sanitary sewer, street lighting, and storm drainage improvements. And whereas the town superintendent of highways, recreation director, water and wastewater director, planning and engineering assistant have conducted and/or supervised on-site inspection of the previously constructed improvements. And whereas the applicant has prepared the final warranty deed conveying to the town of Plattsburgh the Deer Run Drive extension and other improvements constructed in the subdivision conveying 425 feet plus or minus extension of road identified as Deer Run Drive extension, and which road name has been verified with 911 Emergency Services and the U.S. Postal Service. And whereas the town board, Town of Plattsburgh, did previously by resolution 00-57 dated January 19, 2000, accept and deleted Meadowlark Lane Drive, Mallard Drive, Deer Run Drive for lots 29 through 51 of Philip Green subdivision, 1998. And whereas the town board did previously by resolution 06263 dated September 5th, 2006, accept and dedicate Foxfire Drive for lots 71 through 82 of the Philip A. Green Senior Subdivision, 2006. And whereas a 425-foot portion of Deer Run Drive was inadvertently left out of the deeds conveying road improvements, serving lots 43, 44, 45, 46, and 47. And whereas easterly, 425-foot extension of Deer Run Drive was previously inspected and accepted by the town superintendent of highways, recreation director, water and wastewater director, and planning department. Now therefore be resolved that the town board, Town of Plattsburgh, does hereby, upon the final warranty deed being acceptable to the town planning attorney, accept the dedication of 425 plus or minus feet of road identified as Deer Run Drive extension as a public town road. And it is further resolved that the town board, Town of Plattsburgh, does hereby authorize town planning attorney to review the said deed, and upon his review and acceptance, authorize the recording of the final warranty deed in the Clinton County Clerk's office, which conveys approximately 425 plus or minus feet of new road with public water lines, sanitary sewer, street lights, and other related improvements as shown in the subdivision final plans of the Philip A. Green Senior Subdivision, 1998, lots 29 through 51, and Philip A. Green Senior Subdivision, 2006, lots 71 through 82. And it is further resolved that the town board does hereby release and abandon the temporary turnaround easement on lot 27 for the Philip A. Green Subdivision, 1997, Phase 2, lots 12 to 28, dedication, which is no longer necessary to be retained by the town of Plattsburgh, and does hereby direct the town planning attorney to prepare any necessary documents to execute the same. It is further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the planning, codes, highway, and water and wastewater departments.
Have a motion? Ms. Brockway, second.
Second.
Mr. Mannix, any discussion?
I think on that final resolve that we should add in the planning attorney.
I'm writing it while you speak. In fact, I wrote it with a note of what needs to be done. Because there are a number of items here that he needs to act on. Absolutely. You read my mind.
Do we know for a fact that all of the road that we're accepting has been paved? I noticed some of it is from older subdivisions at a time when we didn't require the developments to be paved. I apologize for bringing this up and not having researched it ahead of time, but I would offer that even if the subdivisions were proposed before we had the ruling that roads would be paved, now we would take a look at it before we accept it, have the developer pave the roads.
Let me check on that before it goes anywhere, and I'll let you know.
Because I know I've been in
Good
there
point.
before, it seems to me there are a couple of roads that aren't completely paved. Now, we want to make sure that we are accepting paved roads, so that we're not accepting a liability.
Absolutely.
Very good point.
Should we table this thing?
No, I think we can pass it and go ahead with making sure that the roads are paved. We have ordinance regulations in place that require any new roads to be paved, and we'll just handle it through that way. Again, we're asking for approval of our attorneys. If the attorneys advise us that we can't move forward, then we can't move forward.
Was this the exchange of the property that was, we talked about the other night? What was the property that was the house? That wasn't turnaround, right?
Yeah, they have gone ahead and discontinued to turn around and build a house there.
Yeah.
That's why we're not being
Right on the
asked
corner
to,
by the pond there.
that's why we're being asked to,
That's what I thought. I
To
just
formally release the turnaround.
right.
Well, I will find out on the roads being paved, and if they're not, bring that again to the planning attorney's attention, that that is a condition that has to be met. Okay? Good point, good catch. Anything else?
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Sheila Brockway,
Yes.
Garth Renadette,
Yes.
Mark Zanet,
Yes.
Bernie Bass.
Yes. Resolution 399.
Whereas the sale of Water and Wastewater Department Camel vac truck generated income not anticipated in the 2009 Water and Wastewater Department budget and items number for sale of scrap. And whereas as indicated by Resolution 09-384, said income is to be used toward the purchase of new work trucks for the Water and Wastewater Department. Therefore, be resolved that the Town Board, Town of Plattsburgh, is hereby authorize the following budget amendment, increasing Water and Wastewater Department 2009 budget line items, increase appropriation of sale of scrap, $40,000, increase appropriation equipment and capital layout, $40,000. And it be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the budget officer and the wastewater department director.
A motion?
So moved.
Ms. Brockway, second.
Second.
I'm not sure. Mr. Wood? Any discussion?
Yeah, I'm questioning whether that's the right language to use, increase appropriation in regards to the sale of scrap, or should it say increase revenue?
That's the reason we have this. In 384, we authorize those funds to be used, but what I'm told is bookkeeping, accounting, to have those funds be used, we actually have to pass a resolution that increases what had been initially appropriated in the original budget as a result of this unanticipated revenue. Then after you approve the appropriation, you can actually go through the transfer and the use.
Yep.
I guess it does, yeah. It's, I can truly understand why you would want that before you start pushing money around and spending it when it wasn't originally in the budget. So it's an increase in appropriation by the sale. Which obviously is something we picked up on in the 11th hour, which is why it's in front of you. This one is still drying. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Sheila Brockway,
Yes.
Garth Renadette,
Yes.
Mark Zanet,
Yes.
Bernie Bass.
Yes. You know, I guess I'd add as a footnote, from my position, one of the things that we see happening with this board is we each look at things, look for different things, and collectively, by working together, and it's happened for very consistently now, we're not looking to try and catch something. We're looking to try to make sure we have the best resolutions, that we're following due process, that we're complying with every rule and regulation, and you know, that's what we need to do. And if it's in a public session or a work session, or you know, when one of you strolls in the office and you have a question or you read something somewhere else, I think that's one of the things that helps this board be highly successful. We really have avoided, and in a town of our size with the level of activity we have a lot of activity here, a lot of contractors, a lot of development. We're not wasting money on frivolous lawsuits, trying to cover up for errors and omissions. It certainly can happen. and they can happen when 5 of us look at things. But please, even if it's in a session like this, and as we've done many times, if it isn't clear, we table it, we've got time to go back. You know, I do commend each of you. We've got a couple items this evening that we cleared up, we made them better. As Deborah and I often try to say, we're trying to think through in 5 years from now, when somebody's looking this resolution up, trying to figure out what we did and why we did it. We want it to be as clear as it can be. So, again, this is part of, I think, the transparency where we see how it works and we work together to make that happen. So I appreciate it.
When there is one of those, say, in this case where we're passing this for the particular thing so that the appropriations can be increased, are they cross-referenced at all? So that if somebody did want to go in and look them up, they would know, okay, that was the resolution, but we passed the resolution, you know, the next meeting that covered that. Would that be done by the
When this
county?
resolution came to me, one of the things I did is make sure that earlier resolution was cited.
I noticed
So we
that.
create that historical trail to go back and try and see how this evolved from the beginning. And we're, it's difficult sometimes. You work with something so closely, you lose sight of those things, I think, Tom, you know, because you internalize it so well, and then the document you're dealing with isn't clear to
It's just
someone
automatic.
who's
You know
looking-
what you're saying, and
But you're not saying it. You have to say it. And as, you know, many times I graded students' English papers, they'd always say, well, you know what I mean. Mr. Coffey, I'm sure you did the same thing. You know what I mean. I only know what you put down. And I think that's something that's very, very important that we do. The other thing we've been trying to do is in the title of a resolution, certainly make them clear and concise, but also try to anticipate what might be keywords as someone would search for a resolution and make sure they're in the title. So the thing pops up as we're preparing electronic files for the future. But anyway, it's, you know, I guess as we get to the end of the year, sometimes it's frustrating. You work hard on things and they're not perfect, but they only become perfect after we are all in agreement that we've got what we need. So, you know, that's a good thing. Any other business for this evening? We've had a
Well-
106th birthday.
well, I'd like to say Merry Christmas to everyone on the board and to all the people that are watching, and Happy New Year. I might not be here the next meeting.
Do you have something on the table besides cake?
Flowers?
No, I just noted that, and it has to do with that, those payments for the home resolution 09394. I think last week Marty moved to table 09386.
Right, we did not bring that resolution off the table, it dies.
Oh,
It's gone.
That's right.
okay, so you don't have to do anything
No.
now. Okay.
That's why we did it the way we did it. And took care of it.
Oh, okay, fine. Because I know last week there was one on the table and y'all voted no about that. So,
And that
okay,
was- yeah.
so that's just dead now.
Dead.
Well, it's just that every once in a while, I'd like to all vote no.
Clarification on
That was really a case where that resolution was in so much need of plastic
In need of
surgery,
surgery.
it was
Yeah.
better to just let it go away.
Bye, and then that's why the new one has this.
The new one cleans it up.
So when you look in the minutes, what happens to that one? It just skips or it just says,
There is no follow-up that it ever came off back to the table. It was tabled, it
Okay.
remains tabled.
and it
for
stays just like
infinity.
that in the minutes?
It's gone, no action,
Oh, great,
no subsequent action.
sorry.
That's good. It's a good question. Anything else? If so, again, everyone drive safely and let's root for our Giants.
Move to adjourn.
Get a motion to adjourn. Yeah, I think I'm in a work session.
Go, Sean.
Mr. Renadette, second. I've already got that TV on. Ms. Brockway, any discussion relative to the motion to adjourn? If not, we'll do a roll call, please.
Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Bill Brockway.
Yes.
Garth Renadette.
Yes.
Mark Manick,
Yes.
Bernie Bassett.
Yes, we'll stand adjourned at 7:57.
Such a crime.
There.
I'm gonna read that card. Putting it next to me.